We're live.
Yo, what's up? How we doing, everybody? I can't say Facebook family and friends because we're on YouTube. So how we all doing this evening, this beautiful, wonderful Wednesday grind, baby?
What's going on? Be on fire.
Carrie Crosby's in the house. Look at that smile.
What's going on?
Success is waiting, so why ignore it? Because you can meet it tomorrow morning. Come on now. Success is for each and every one of you who take it and go with it, run with it, crush it, knock it out the ballpark. Middle school loser. That's what they said to me. Come on now. I love it. This is probably my ultimate favorite song. I gotta live until my mic turns off. And y'all know me, I'm gonna be honest with you, even when my mic turns off, I'm still gonna be talking.
Because that's the way you act. You know why? Because you are using the gift God gave you.
Hey guys,
Amen.
don't forget to share on your page really quick.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
we'll do.
See, I need an assistant to push buttons for me. How is everybody? Where are you tuning in from? How are you feeling on this Wednesday grind? Don't tell me it's the hump day. We don't talk about the hump day. We talk about the grind day because y'all got to be chasing towards the weekend, right? I'm chasing it in a good way. We need to chase it. I don't mean chasing Friday night so you can go out and enjoy the downtime because you had a long week. I mean the Friday night that you put your nose into the books, into the business that you're building while everybody else is giving away their dream. You're chasing your dream. Woo!
Amen, brother. Amen.
That's what we talking about. That's what we talking about. How come I'm the only, like, why do I so much? Whoa, there it is. Woo.
What?
Am I the only one who struggles to share stuff? And we're coming at 6:30. We apologize. We normally don't come at 6:30. We usually come at 7:30. But hey, you're always in the growth mindset. I got a training that I'm doing tonight at 8 o'clock. Because hey, I got to make myself better so I can help help you guys get better, right? So
Amen.
It's always, even as coaches, right? I think Carrie, you took a course.
Hey Laura.
Oh goodness, I'm still in a course. I done took like 4 or 5 courses. Like I keep them coming and keep them coming. Man. Growth never stops. I'll stop growing when I can't outgrow my casket. That's it.
Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Let me see.
What's up, man?
I shared it to my page. I did.
Alexander,
Right. Hey Laura.
Laura's in the house. How you been, Laura? I haven't seen no posts, Laura. How you been? So tonight we got our business pal and friend Carrie with us.
What's up?
As we get towards the end of this talk, we're definitely going to elaborate. Everybody knows what we got coming at the end of the month, and actually, it's 1 week from tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
My goodness, isn't that
perspective right there, isn't it?
It is 1 week from tomorrow. I was thinking it was Sunday.
Yeah,
no, 1 week, man.
Thursday.
1 week from tomorrow. So the thing is you guys already know, man, you got 1 week to get your ticket because I think Wednesday night's the last night. Don't wait to the last minute because you're gonna be left out. We met last night, right? And then we'll introduce ourselves. We met last night and we discussed what the first night's gonna look like. And I'm gonna tell you right now. How do you guys feel about how day one's gonna go?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what, day one alone is just worth it. Period.
Hey,
day one that's where the fire is ignited. That's where the fire is ignited in day one.
So
yeah.
Look, we got excited. We got excited just talking about last night.
No. Y'all should have seen. Y'all should have seen tonight. Like she went like this.
I was like, oh man,
that was so good. It was so good.
I got so excited. I was like, what? That was was just like, how could that happen?
It was, hey, and we're going to talk a little bit about that today, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about, well, first, let's go ahead. Y'all already know I'm Raymond Wright. I'm the founder of Right Way Leadership, Transformational Coaching. I am your motivator. I am your inspirator, but most importantly, I am your transformator. And I'm here to give you the tools, the resources, and to provide that extra oomph to get you to go where you already told me you want to go, right? To fill in that gap. And tonight with this podcast, this is I think we're calling it transformational talk. Is that what we determined? This is transformational talk.
I've always liked it. I've always liked.
Okay, so we came to the conclusion that we're going to keep.
Whatever boss say, what boss says goes. Boss over there. Miss Chicago.
We got transformational talk on Wednesday and Thrive Talk on Thursday. And it's all about talking about stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could definitely talk. Maybe that's why I didn't want to talk so much, because everybody knows me for talk. But anyway, so that's me.
Yes.
You go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hello, guys. If this is the first time we meet, my name is Sarai Nammur. I'm a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. I'm the founder of Circle of Champions Worldwide, where you guys are part of. And if you're part of it, that means that you are a champion, not just for yourself, but for others too. And I'm all about overcoming adversity and transforming that to become your best self. So that's who I am. Who are you? Who are you, Carrie?
What's up? I am Carrie Crosby. I am a professional certified self-development coach. I help you in removing mental blocks. And really what it comes down to is I really show you how to be your best friend first. You got to be your best friend first and get off the residue of what everybody else expects of you, so that you can really look inside you and see what you need to move forward in your life. Because only you can do that.
Move the residue.
Let me
get it off.
Rashad.
Yeah. I always say you gotta exfoliate your life every so often.
Amen. Amen. That's a blessing, and I think that's so. I think what's so incredible is you got three different backgrounds here, right? You got three different backgrounds. You got three different cultures, really, and you have three different. Right. This is the most amazing thing. You have three different ways of really, they're all the same, but you got three different methods of really giving the best to those who are willing to change. The one thing I can tell everybody about the three of us is when we talk, it's always about serving other people. Right. Yeah. It always boils down to who are we looking to serve? How are we looking to serve? How can we help someone become the best version of themselves? Not that it's going to be an easy task, but we're willing to do a lot of the we're not willing to do the work for you. We're willing to provide the input for you, but you got to do the work ultimately. And that's really what this is all about is, we can serve people, in all different areas and all different spectrums. But the bottom line is this: when you're ready to take that next level, coaching and mentorship, which is two different things, but both very important, will take you to the absolute next level. It's raise yourself, and have somebody help you get where you want to go. And I think that's the three of us really have come together, and man, we're going to do incredible things, man. There's great things that are coming. Oh boy, you guys don't know.
And I like where you was going with that, because you're speaking about how we always looking to serve. We're always looking at, what our main goal is, and that's the people. That's the people that are drawn to us, because we ain't for everybody, and we understand that, and we appreciate that, and we respect that, because the people that we're for are the people who are ready. They're ready. This ain't enough. They're tired of this. This has served them well, and they're so grateful for what they have. But they know there's something else. And I know there's something else that they want to get to, they want to accomplish, they want to obtain. But it all boils down to you. When are you going to decide? When are you going to make that next move? When are you going to be ready to say yes to yourself, completely say yes to yourself, and move to that next level? And that's the people that's who we're looking for.
So good.
That's what we're looking
and that's
for.
what we're doing. We're here for the people who want to say yes to themselves, but maybe you just don't know the how, or maybe you just don't have the mindset. Maybe you have an idea or some type of vision of that, and we're here to help you, like, sort of clear out the gray, so that you could clearly see your vision, and you could actually make a strategic plan to hit that. And by the time we're done with our masterclass, you're gonna have the tools to get ready and to just get started. You don't have to think anymore. You just gotta you'll just get started. So we're like super excited about that, and which is what we have here. We discover who you were born to be, and be that. So we're really trying to chisel out, like, who is it that you were born to be? Just forget it. I was gonna say something else, but I didn't want to. I changed my mind.
I want to share a quick story real quick. So I was listening to an audio today from, I probably listened to this audio 5 years ago for the first time. I was listening to it today, and it was incredible, right? So I just want to share it with you. So there's a gentleman who lived in I don't remember the country. We'll say Argentina, right? I don't know why Argentina, right? And he always had a dream of coming to America, spending time in America, but he was never able to really come. So as he started to get older, he went to the doctor, and the doctor knew his dreams. The doctor knew that he wanted to come to America, and he was getting up there in age. And finally, the doctor said, sir, if you really want to go, you are getting older. This might be the time for you to take the time. So he had a nephew that lived in America. So the gentleman came over, and he spent a month in America. And he did all the touring, he did all the sightseeing, he did all the things with his nephew. In his last couple days, his nephew wanted him to experience the American college campus, right? So he took his uncle to the college campus. So they went into the cafeteria, so to say, and he said, "Okay, uncle, I'm going to be right back." So his uncle sat down, and he thought he was supposed to be served. So he asked the lady, "Well, who's going to serve me?" And they said, "No, this is a buffet. You can get what you want. You go up and you get what you want." So he went up and he got what he wanted. And he was observing everything. His nephew came back and he goes, So uncle, what do you think about everything? What was your time? Tell me about your time in America. And he says, "You know what?" He says, "I'll tell you what America's like." He said, "America's a lot like this buffet over here." He says, "You can get whatever you want, but you got to be willing to pay the price for what you want." So, and what he was explaining to his nephew is we are so blessed to be in such a phenomenal country that anybody, if they're really determined to make it and make something of themselves and to create something, to build that legacy that we talk about, there's a price that you have to pay. You can go through the buffet and you can buy the meatloaf, the lasagna, the steaks. You can fill your plate up, but are you willing to pay the cost for everything that you want? And I think to me, that stands out to me because there's so many people that have the freedom, that have the choice, but they don't make a decision to pursue it because they're not willing to pay that trivial price. They're not willing to put in the work. They're not willing to take the punches. They're not willing to take the losses. They're not willing to have people make them look silly. And I love the fact that he said, if you can have anything you want, if you're willing to pay the price. So it says two things, right? When they say, look, what are your dreams? What do you want? You can do it. No, but there is a price to pay. We have to know. Whatever we want in life, there's a price that you're going to have to pay. And I think for me, I want you guys to understand, and that goes in line with whether, like, I know me, Carrie, and Sarai, we can call ourselves coaches and therapists, and we can call ourselves mentors, but you better believe that there's still a price that we have to pay, right? In order for us to serve the people the way we want to, we got to make sure that we're being fed too. So believe me, I've invested in the last 6 years, I've invested tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars in conferences and coach classes and all these different things. So I just want you guys to understand, like, what do you want so bad? Like, I wish y'all knew my heart, and I wish you knew that, like, I wish I could do it for you. I did a talk. I wish I could do it for you. But really, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? Are you willing to finally say to myself, I'm worth it. I'm going to pay the price. So I just love that story. I love that story.
Yeah, it's very true. It's very evident in the way people treat life and the options that there are. There's plenty of options. The only difference between me and an astronaut is that an astronaut did what it takes to be one.
Come on now.
That is it. That's it. That is the only thing that separates me from anything, is me doing what it takes to be that, to go there, to have it. Action. Action is the only thing that keeps us from getting what we want, making a decision. Deciding, that's a verb. That's an action word. We have to make that decision. We have to decide. We can't just hope that it just falls in our laps. Yeah, some things fall in front of us, but as Jim Rohn says, a opportunity will soon elude you if you are not prepared.
Come on now.
So in order to be prepared, you got to invest in yourself. You got to put in the work. You have to do the actions. Me, between July and now, I've taken 4 classes. I've done my certification class. I did a class with Coach Antoinette Marie. I've done 2 meditation courses. One of them was a little certificate, but very unknown. But still, it was something I knew I needed to do in order to feed. I had to feed myself, because I've made that mistakes over and over and over, from trying to serve from an empty cup. We were just talking about this today, but serving from an empty cup and wondering why I'm exhausted, wondering why I'm depleted, why I'm feeling like I'm not valued. It's because I'm giving more of me than I am giving to me. So it's very important to invest in yourself, because if you want to go out and you have that dream and you have that vision of something you want to do, you have to be full in order to fully do what it is that you want to go out and do.
Yep. I love it. You're so right.
And before, so I have a question for everyone. Before taking action, what do you need before then? Like, what is it? We need to believe we need to first have a vision, but I think we need to have faith to take action, because a lot of people don't take action because they might have a vision, but then they doubt a lot. Like, are they really going to get there? Is it really meant for me? Or maybe because of everything, that we've been through, we stop believing that we even deserve it. And we think it's like, it's not real. It's not going to be real for us. And we start doubting ourselves. And that's like the biggest killer of all dreams. So before taking action, we got to cure that spot. If that's an issue, we got to cure the spot of the limiting beliefs that stop us from taking action. So, and how true is that for anyone out there? Like, if you could be honest, what has stopped you from taking action? Because I think we all do have a vision and we do all have a dream, and something that we know we really want. I don't think there are too many people that don't truly know deep inside like what they want. Even if you don't admit it, there is something that, or maybe you forgot it. Maybe so much has happened that you forgot like your true self and your true dreams and your true desires, or maybe you were never given permission to even express it or identify it. So, like, if you thought about it now, like, what is it that you truly want? And then how do you really believe you're going to make it? Because a lot of times when people don't invest in themselves, is because they don't feel they're worth it. And you don't feel you're worth it because maybe you feel like you don't deserve it, or you feel like it's not going to happen for you. Like, is that something true for you? Let us know if that's something that's true for you. You better say.
I think everybody experiences that on some level or another, because when we are presented with our vision and when we get the glimpses of that dream, it is it's a snip of the unknown. And anything unknown tends to be very risque for us, very scary for us, uncomfortable for us. But as I was talking to a young lady last night through Messenger, and we were talking about how, you have to start new routines and new habits and replace what you used to do with what you want to do in order to create that action steps to get to where you want to go. And I was telling her, when you start a routine, that takes away the uncomfortableness of it, which in turn negates fear. If you start to do things that you're not used to doing, it starts to negate fear, and that fear no longer has power. Yeah, you may get nervous. Yeah, you may be unsure, uncomfortable, but it'll start to be more familiar with you. And when you learn that you can bust through that feeling, when that feeling comes up in other situations in your life, you built that muscle up, knowing that, hey, it is intimidating, but I can still do it. But you have, like you said, it starts with a decision, but it also starts with that faith of knowing that you can do it, knowing that you can come to fruition. And the best way to do that is just think of something you've already been through that you didn't think you. We've all got something that we've been through that when it started, we didn't think we'd go through, but here we are, stronger, better, and wiser, and we can do it again.
Absolutely.
And again.
Absolutely.
And again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great way of building confidence is by looking back at what you've already done. Like, look at how much you've already survived. Look at how much you've already overcome. And then ask yourself, why can't you do what you have before you? Like, why can't you really push forward with the dream or the goals that you have in front of you if you've already been through so much? Like, I'm looking at everyone out there, and I know like every single name I'm looking at has already overcome stuff that if you knew you had to go through it, you would have never chosen it because you know how hard it was. And then how could you not move? How could you not? Now it's easy. Actually, now it's easy. The thing is that now it's a choice. Most of the stuff we went through that we can't believe we overcame is stuff that wasn't our choice. But now
this is the key though. This is the key though. So when you're saying that, is too many people look at what they went through and hold on to it themselves. Yeah. The things that you went through are not for you. They're really not for you. They've happened to you, but they're not for you. See, when we hold on to the things that happen to us and we try to do it all on our own, it doesn't allow us to serve the people. That's where the relationships are built. The relationships are built, by using the things that we went through in order to serve the people. Because that's where you start to build that great cloud of witnesses I always talk about. That's when you start to grow in that community of people who are going to strive with you. It's so different when you get around people, right? And say you go out and you hang out with people you used to hang out with. After about 2 hours, if you make it that long, you start to realize
2 hours.
But you know what? You're like, this conversation is really right. But then you go around people who are talking about, generational wealth, building legacy, building opportunities, helping the community. The thinking is so different, right? And I think that's what happens when we allow our story to push us to serve, help, and tell others that it's okay. But you have to release the things that you have to stop saying what happened to me, and you got to say, look what happened for me. This happened for me. So now I can become that person to serve forward. And I think that's so important.
And to put that in a visual aspect where you can literally see it, think about everything that you've been through as a brick. We all know what a brick is. So say this right here in my hand is my brick. It's a brick from my past. I can make a decision about this brick and what this brick means to me. I can take this brick and I can hold this brick and I can carry this brick my whole life. Or I can sit this brick down. I can stand on it and I can rise to any occasion knowing that brick is what built the muscle to get me through what I got through. That brick served its purpose in my life. So now it's time to lay these bricks down. It's time to build our empire. It's time to rise up to the occasion of our own lives. It's the only one we get in this form, in this way. This is it. And I had to ask myself, what are you waiting on? And I encourage everybody else to ask themselves that same question.
What am I waiting on?
What are you waiting
on? Faith is a muscle. Faith is a muscle. It's just like the bicep. You have to put the bicep under continuous
you just want to show your guns.
Man, look.
Look, Michelle Jones says, I know I'm running for commissioner, and if I knew the journey of how hard it would be, I would never do it. But you know what? Even though that's true, because we wouldn't when we're in it, we're like, oh, like it's so difficult. But then what is it saying about you? What is it building in you? What are things about you that you didn't even know existed? What strengths do you have? Like, it builds so much in you. And then when we give it an empowering meaning, what happens is that we take back our power. We take back our power when we decide to give it of empowering meaning instead of looking at ourselves as victims in circumstances or situations or things that have happened to us. And that's where the secret lies, is that, like what Raymond just said, it didn't happen to us, it happened for us. And the analogy that you just did about the stone and stepping on it, and that's how obstacles or things that we go through in life, we need to use it as that. We need to stand on it, and it already happened. So it's up to us to decide what we're going to do with that. Are we going to turn it into our purpose? Because if we do, then we beat it. We beat it by doing that. Right. When something terrible happens to us, but we decide to use it to make our best come out, we beat that. It didn't beat us. And if it was meant to bring us down, we didn't allow it to bring us down, because we got it and we transformed it into something greater than us. So that's where the power lies, in giving the meaning and using it to empower us to be something bigger and better. And then how do we do that? Is by using it to deliver our gift, using it to help others overcome. That's so powerful. And we get to choose that. We get to choose what we're going to do with it.
And you can't force it upon people. You can't force it upon people either. Like one of my
we could be the light for people. We could be the
light, but what I'm saying is I tried to be the light for people that weren't interested in the light. So we have to know to brush ourselves off. We have to know, Carrie said it earlier, we have to know that we are not designed to be for everybody. There are going to be people that don't like me. There are going to be people that are for me. And I can't make that determination, but I'm still, this is the thing. You guys know how I feel about leadership. This is what I feel. Leadership is a form of the character that you build. Nobody puts you in a leadership position. You earn it through trust, through character, through integrity, through making the tough decisions, no matter whether they believe in you or not. Nobody knocks you off your path. You continue to move forward, knowing that some people are not going to agree with you. But my ultimate goal is to align myself, not with the people that agree with me. You don't got to agree with me. I want to align myself with the people that are game changers. What are you doing to move yourself forward in your predetermined, business, entrepreneurship, family, fatherhood, motherhood, relationship, whatever it is, right? You don't have to agree with me, but I've always had a problem with opposing like myself when I feel somebody needs it, so-called need it. Like, man, you need this book. And they're looking at me like, I don't need nothing. Well, you can't force them. You know what I mean? You can't force somebody. So we have to understand that it's okay, because that used to hurt my feelings. Like, really, it used to hurt my feelings, because I'm like, I'm like, man, if I can change, anybody can change. And it's true. But are you willing to change? There's got to be a willingness, because so there has to be a willingness, and you got to make a decision, because you'll never make a difference if the decision isn't made. But it's got to start with the willingness, right? You know what I mean? No matter where of you are.
Because you can shine your light, but I can shut my eyes.
And then what some of us want to do, we want to go prior eye open and be like, look.
I did, and that's one of the lives that I regret not going back through, is when I talked about tiptoeing around people who sleep. Because it's like just imagine yourself tiptoeing around people who sleep. We need to, when you imagine this in your head, right? Say someone is on a couch and they're asleep, and you got good news, and you come in, but you're hesitant because they sleep, and you're like, oh wait, they don't hear me. So there's somebody over here that's listening, and then there's somebody over here who's asleep, but you are giving less the person that's awake and listening, and you're watering down what you're saying because you got this person over here asleep. No, they just need to go somewhere else, because I got to say what I got to say. and I'm going to do what I got to do and walk into my gift. And anything God gives me, I'm going to scream to the world. If you sleeping and I bother you, that's your problem. That's not my problem.
Hey, you can always shut it off, right?
Around people who refuses to wake up. And if you refuse to wake up, it ain't nothing I can say that's going to wake you up. But I can't stop saying what I know needs to be said just because you over there sleep.
And it doesn't mean we don't love them. It doesn't mean we don't love them.
Not at all.
And it doesn't mean but there's an old saying, my friend.
You gotta be ready.
No, it's he says you gotta pray for the you gotta pray for the goers. Or no, you got to go with the goers and pray for the knowers, right? Because you got to continue to move forward. We're all, and the thing is we're able to do that out of love because we have work to do. There's work to be done.
We got work to do. There's work to do. Right. And the message that we have, and the message that we have will land on the fertile ground, and it will land on rocky ground. Sarai was just talking about this day before yesterday. We don't really control the ground. We just have to continuously plant the seeds.
Right.
Yep.
We plant the seeds. We water the seeds. We take care of the seeds. We make sure the seeds are being taken care of. But hey, if that seed doesn't grow, sometimes there's something wrong with the soil that it was planted in. It's not necessarily the person planting the seed, but we're responsible for the planting. We're responsible for the care, but the growing, unless it's in us, that's up to other individuals.
And sometimes, you know what? Like sometimes it's not about forcing people. Sometimes it's about just being who we are and continuing with our message. And maybe the person who couldn't hear it a year ago is ready to hear it now. Because sometimes we're holding on to our excuses or sometimes we identify as a victim, but it serves a purpose at that point in time. And then we have to shed that victim identity or role. And then at some other point, we're able to hear it. So just because you can't hear it at one point doesn't mean you won't be able to hear it a year from now or 3 years from now. We just offer it. We just offer it. And then who bites because they're ready. Because I think we've all changed only when we're ready. None of us change because the light is being shined in our face.
Right.
It's when we're ready. The information is available to everybody. We're not the only ones talking about this. A lot of people are talking about this. So the information is readily available. But yet I tell people about it. I tell people, watch this on YouTube or whatever. And they're like, what? What is that? I've never heard that before. I'm like, what?
It's a lot of people, I think, just like me. My story is I was walking around with blinders on. I you know what I mean? Like the world wasn't turned on to me, and I think my responsibility is I want people to know, hey, you can start a business. Hey, you can become better than that. Hey, you can learn. You don't have to go to college to educate yourself. Let me put you on a couple of these books. See, Carrie shared a book with me the other day, right? Me and Sarai share books with each other. We share books with you guys. And it's and the one thing I try to teach my kids, they don't do it because I'm dad, but the one thing I try to teach them is don't limit yourself based on what other people are teaching you. Study it for yourself. If you want to be a business builder, you gotta. I'm gonna tell you, I've never read a story from Sam Walton to Bill Gates to Warren Buffett, whatever you think of them as people, but I've never read a story where their business didn't fail. You know what I mean? I've never read it. And not to mention, I've never read a story where everybody believed in what they were doing.
Right. And that is why testimonies are so important. Like Sarai's Thrive Talk, and when you have guests on and you share people's story, because there is power, so much power in that connection that's created when you share your story and what you've been through, from the smallest thing to the biggest thing. You can say, there was a time where I ate everything in sight and I just didn't know what I was going to do. There's somebody out there that's going through that. Or you can say, I know I need to work out, but for some reason, every time I do and I'm looking at the scale, somebody need to hear that. Or you can say, my business failed and I can't believe I thought I'd never get back on my feet, but here I am. Somebody needs to hear that. We have all been through something. We're all connected by energy. We are all one. And that's why when we hear something that's familiar to us, we can empathize because we feel that. Because it all boils down to, and I think Sarai was talking about that, all boiling down to those pain points. Even if the pain point is just that I'm scared to go live. Or if the pain point is, I'm afraid to quit my job. Or if the pain point, it doesn't matter what it is. We all get to that point where we have got to push through that point. When we get to that point, you got to find something that will help you bust through that wall, bust through that situation so that you can get to the other side of it. And the power that you will have when you can share that testimony with somebody who is waiting to hear that you got through it because they're looking for permission to get through it for themselves.
Bingo. Right there. They just, there are so many people that I think sit back and we don't even know that they're watching. They're not commenting. They're not doing anything. Because they're
I'm one of those though. I am a lurker. I'm a lurker.
As long as I'm not in the shower. You better not be in my bathroom. But I think that's I think it's so awesome because my mentor told me a long time ago, when you make a decision, you're not allowed to quit because people are waiting for you to quit. So it gives them permission to quit. So if you don't quit, they got to keep moving too. Because no matter what you think, leadership is going to be called in your life, whether you want it to or not. At some point, at some part in your life, you are going to be called to be a leader. And you got to make the decision, am I ready to be that leader? And sometimes the only person you're going to be leading first is yourself.
Right. Yeah. And that's what we do on a regular basis. And that's why I love this group. It's because we all have our pain points. We all have our different testimonies, but we constantly show up. We make sure we show up. It may be few and far between. We may fall off, but we coming back. Just to believe, because we know that we're being watched. But the one person that is watching me that I refuse to let down is that future me. Because I've seen the vision. I've seen what it looks like. And I am going to get there. And I have attached myself to that place. And I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Let me tell you, I'm feeling so much energy right now from Michelle. Michelle is like, I'm feeling like I'm quiet because I'm just like my energy is combined with hers somehow. And Michelle, like, I mean, I don't even know her, but I see her so much and how much she's doing out there. And let me tell you, Michelle, like, I've never even talked to Michelle ever, but I see what she does, and I just want you to know that us three up here, we're like, I mean, I think we're like, some people may think we're crazy because we're so intensely trying to grow. Not like, oh, I have a goal this year. We're like, this is my goal for today. This is what I'm going to do today. This is what I'm learning today. Like Carrie just said, all the classes she took in like 2 weeks. Like we're hungry. Like we're hungry. And I feel like Michelle is another one that's hungry. And you know what, Michelle? Like I'm watching your comments and everything, and you know what I'm hearing, what I'm feeling from you right now is not that you can't do it. What I'm feeling from you right now is exhaustion. It sounds like you're exhausted and you're tired, and we all get there. And all that means is that doesn't mean give up. That doesn't mean stop. What that means is take 2 hours for yourself. Disconnect from everything. Take 2 hours from yourself. Take a warm bath. Do something to disconnect. I said 2 hours because for some reason I'm feeling like you can't take a whole day. So take 2 hours. I'm feeling that. I don't know if I'm feeling that correctly, Michelle, but you tell me. If you can't take a whole day, then take 2 hours. Like turn everything off. Take a warm bath. Just do whatever it is that makes you happy, and like replenish yourself, because I'm really feeling like there's a lot on her. There's a lot on her, and she's trying to do like big, great things. And we all get exhausted. Like I've told many people, when I would hit those points of exhaustion, I would disappear and actually stop doing everything. And sometimes that would last 1 year, 2 years. I'm not talking about 1 week. I'm talking about a year, and then maybe
that was only when I was locked up.
Man, it was bad. Like I would just quit. I would just quit.
I didn't say it.
What did he say?
He said he only disappeared for a year when he was locked up.
Well, I wouldn't be locked up, but I locked myself up. I would not talk to anyone or do anything. But you know what? Now I've learned that all that really means is that I'm exhausted. Sometimes we run ourselves to exhaustion because we don't know how to do self-care. And I've only learned how to do self-care maybe over the last like 1 to 2 years. I've learned that, because before I would run myself so hard until like I would just be depleted. And now I'm learning how to tune into that. But I never learned how to do that because of circumstances and our, you know, our life and the way we grew up and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I truly, truly believe in taking time out to rejuvenate. So we need to really do that. Like we can't just being tired simply means you're tired, and it might just mean take a little break, but then
well, I think
come back.
Yeah, and I think from Michelle too, I'm getting a sense of, so the one thing is I know a lot of the things that she's trying to do, and sometimes in that type of position, because we got that going on in our community right now, you don't get the support that you think you should have got, so you got to do a lot extra work. And in leadership, right? So what Michelle's like, because obviously she's trying to become a leader in a position so she can make a change. And anytime a leader steps into that platform, every time a leader steps into that platform, they're going to be opposed with so much backlash, not just, and you guys know me, it's all a spirit form for me. So not only are you going to face the backlash from the people, but you're going to be facing the backlash from the spiritual form too, because the enemy does not want greatness to come out of you, because he knows the power that you have in you, in the lives that's going to be changed because of you. So as a leader, leaders don't get believe it or not, we have to make sure we do our self-love and our self-care and all that, because leaders don't have the benefit of stepping down. Leaders don't have the benefit of taking a break. Leaders need to be the one that are continuing not to only move the train forward, but they go back on the caboose and serve those that are in need at the same time. Leadership is not for everyone, but I'm telling you, Michelle, the reason you're because leadership is called upon you. And the reason you're feeling some of the weight is because the people that are supposed to support you, they're afraid of the type of leader you can become, because the lives that's going to change in the meantime. And just know that leadership comes at a price, but with what that comes is great rewards when the work is done. Woo, man, I tell you right there.
And you bet, and that is exactly right. That's the reward. And what better reward than to see the fruits of your labors? What better reward than to put in the work, no matter how hard, no matter how scared? Then you can sit back and be like, I did that. I did that with the help of God and his guidance and his vision and what he gave me. I could have just sat there with it and not done anything. But Absolutely. I did that. I did that. Did you see Michelle's comment, Sarai?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I put it up.
Hey Michelle, so I can just tell you right now, you just you got a prayer warrior in me, so I'll be backing you in prayer. So no matter what you go through, always know that you're gonna have me. I'm an avid, like I'm a killer prayer, man. I kill the enemy in my prayers.
Yeah. He only came because that's what he come to do to us. Kill, steal, and destroy. You want to kill your vision, destroy your vision. There you go. Get on there. Get on there.
I love it. And I'm glad. I mean, this is you tuned in for a reason. You tuned for some reason. You tuned in, right?
Yeah.
And it's amazing to me. I think it's so amazing because you don't get a chance to experience people. You know what I mean? Like you don't get a chance to experience people because we're so far away. That's why I love social media. Everyone talks about how negative social media is. You know, the great thing is I don't engage with any negativity because I don't have friends that are negative. Right? Like I'm one of those ones. If I see, like I blocked someone, I didn't block them. I unfriended them last night because some of the stuff they post, I don't want people connecting me to that. You know what I mean? So I'm just amazed by the not the quantity, but the quality of people that have come into my life. You know, it's an amazing thing. And it's because I think you got to get to a point where it's like, I'm just sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of of catering to other people's wants in my life. I'm sick and tired of playing second place. I'm sick and tired, and the world will tell you that just do this, just do that, and don't be about yourself. See, to be a winner, to be a champion doesn't mean you're selfish. It's actually selfish if you're not being your best self. It's actually selfish if you're not competing in the race that God called you for. It's actually selfish if you're not chasing that victory line, because your life is going to be a blessing to those that are following you until they're ready to take the leadership lens too.
Right.
Sorry, I go off on a tangent sometimes.
Nah, tangents are good. I like tangents. Yeah, tangents are my favorite.
Yeah, I'm good at them.
A lot of people are out there today. A lot of people are out there. A lot of people.
So what? So what?
Wait, what?
What?
See, this is what amazes me. Carrie and Sarai, right? I'm having a hard time of reading the comments. They're actually reading them and messaging back. I don't know how you do it.
Well, I have my phone.
I know, but that's like it's. I'm afraid to look at my phone because I'm afraid I won't hear what's going on. I won't be able to comment, or I'll forget what I'm saying.
Yeah, my brain goes so fast. Like if I didn't have a distraction, that's when I would be distracted, because I'd be thinking about squirrels and everything else outside.
So I think the bottom line is it's you versus you. It isn't. The illusion is that it's you versus others, but it's really it's you versus you versus your thoughts, you versus what you think about others, the power that you give to others. It all starts with you and it ends with you when you choose to take all your power back. So it's really, at the end of the day, it's really you versus you. So what are you gonna do with that power? I want to see what people are gonna say about that. Like, let me tell you something. Someone that I've seen grow, like boom, like someone that has grown so much, like over the last, I would say the last 4 to 5 months, is Ryan King. Like, tell me he hasn't grown. Like he has gone from being in the audience to like now,
his own platform.
He's Facebook famous right now. Like he has grown so much, Ryan. So I just want to give you. Every time I see him, I tell him but I just want to say I just want to say that I see you. I see how much you've grown. I see how much you've done, and man, he's really stepping out. And he is such an example of what happens when you let go of fear, let go of negativity. Does that mean he doesn't think negative things? Of course not, because we all get upon those things. But regardless, he's stepping out. He's taking chances. He's taking risks. He has a show. He's doing all this stuff, and man, I love to watch him because it's such an inspiration to see people just rise from the ashes, rise literally, and say he rose up. He said yes to himself, and man, he's a badass. He's such a badass. 100%.
Oh, look at that! They praising you in the comments, Ryan. You're doing good.
100%. Ryan's doing amazing. He's all over the place.
Yeah, he is.
And his posts are so awesome and inspirational. He's posing. He's posing.
Got that clean suit on.
He's looking up at the sky and taking this picture.
and what it is it's not in you see it with Raymond. Even in some of my pictures, you see it with Stacy. You see it with the reset coach. See it. What you start to see is you start not prideful, but pride. People are finally starting to get that confidence back. Right. It's when it's see, there's a difference. People think that confidence is this cocky, arrogant. That's like, I always bring leadership up, right? Leadership is the most rarest form that we have in this world, which is why all countries, all societies, all communities are falling apart, because people don't want to be leaders. They claim to be leaders, but what they really want is the spotlight on them, and they want their agenda to be met. See, if I'm a leader, I can't just want to meet your agenda. I got to want to meet the masses, right? Everybody deserves a spot at the table. Everybody deserves a spot at the table.
And we don't at the table, it's there.
It's there. And we should not the way we look at the world and the people that we claim to be leaders because they're in a position. A position doesn't make you a leader. Sometimes a position makes you a fool, right? Because people start to see who you truly are. I'd much rather follow somebody who doesn't have a place of position, but they're actually doing the work as leading the masses in a direction of where they need to go, right? Helping people. There's nothing more. I'm going to tell you, as a coach myself, the most impressive thing, I think the most joyous thing in my life is when I see somebody's eyes and it clicks. Yeah. And it clicks. Just like you said with Ryan King, it clicks. You don't know what word they said, but if you don't put into yourself, I always talk about the first convention that I went to, and I'll share that, when we do the Rise Up masterclass. But the first time that they offered me, I was like, I made every excuse why I couldn't go. And the only reason I really didn't want to go is because I thought it was a waste of my time. Man, I'm telling you right now, that one seminar, I was sitting there like this. Yeah. I was blown away. And I think about that. 6 years ago, Sarai still talks about the first time she went and saw Tony Robbins. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I like keep going. Like, that's another thing. Like, some people feel like they're above that. And I could go to Tony, it doesn't matter where I'm at. I could go to Tony Robbins. I could listen to anyone that has something. I'm never above listening, because you never know. All you have to hear is one sentence that will shift you. You just need one sentence that will give you that aha moment. And that maybe you just needed one little drop of something wise being said for you to go, ooh, and then it happens, it clicks. And that's where, if Tony Robbins, when I go see him, he costs $500 and something, because I don't get the ones all the way in the front. It's the cheaper seats.
As long as I'm in the room.
It's so worth the $500 because it fills me up. Like, I have described it to people that it feels, the first time I went, it felt like, in the video games when you press the button and then the bubble covers you and then nothing could penetrate. Yeah. I felt like I was in a bubble, and nothing that happened in the outside world could have knocked me down, because it would just bounce right off. And it was just like I can't even. It was like I was hypnotized with greatness. Yeah. I was hypnotized with I was invincible. I was just, and let me tell you, that feeling got me through so much and made me do so many things. Like, it made me open my agency. I have an agency that's still running 14 years later because of the first time, because of Tony Robbins. I mean, if he's hearing...
Hey, Carrie, can't you see? You could see her in the crowd right now, like, yeah, I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna do it!
You will feel like that. You will feel like that.
Chicago.
I've sent my kids.
Chicago.
You guys,
she probably was cussing somebody in the face. Watch me, mother.
You guys don't even know. Look, I took my kids, and Brooks, one of my sons, it's so energetic. He ran all the way to the stage where Tony Robbins was, ran across, and came back up, and then everyone in the aisles was high-fiving him like this on the side. And then he ran all the way up, ran up to Brandon, carried him, and started dancing with him. That's how you're like in a concert. There's so much energy. There's so much energy.
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, we all gotta go. We all gotta go together. We all gotta go together, and it's transformational. It's transformational.
That's what I'm doing. So when I hop off here, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a Tony Robbins training tonight. So I just, man, it's in order to get what you want out of life, you got to be willing to pay the price, like we talked about before. And I definitely want to know, like, we talked last night about what all of our first night talks are going to be, right? Mm-hmm. I'm going to be doing the lens effect, and basically I'm going to be talking about a worldview that people see life through, right? And people can argue with me all the time, but there's really 4 ways of seeing it, and I'm going to break that down in day 1. And I mean, it's put it this way. the things that we're going to be discussing is going, even in your position, whether you think you're a leader, whether you think you're whatever it is, I'm going to break it down in a way that you have an aha moment. So either you get to make a decision. There's two things that I want you to do coming out of the Rise Up class. I don't want you to be lukewarm anymore. I either want you to tell yourself that, you know what, I'm just going to go back to doing this, or you're going to say, you know what, I freaking see it for me now, and I'm going to come out of this thing running full speed, right? Mm-hmm. So day one is going to be super impactful, and then we're going to move on from there. And then I know the last day when I talk about the blueprint, man, you know, we all think that we can have it all figured out, but all of us have blind spots. You know what I mean? I'm a coach. I'm a mentor. I'm a father. You know, I serve in the community. I've coached youth sports, right? But I rely on my team with Carrie and with Sarai. I rely on my assistant coach on the football field. I rely on people to see the things that I can't see. None of us have it all figured out. So when I lay out this blueprint for you, first I'm going to open your eyes up to the way you see the world. And then the last day, I'm going to close it down by the way you want to build your own world. You're going to build your own world. So the world that you're living in can't damage your fort. Like, put it this way, just don't come off your wall. The pastor was talking about this on Sunday, right? In Nehemiah. And they said, not only were they working to build the wall with one hand, but they held their weapons in their other hand. So continue to do your work while you fend off the world. Continue to do your work while you kick the enemy's face. Continue to do your work while the naysayers can't get to you. Continue to do your work while you're building your blueprint to success. I'm telling you right now, man, for those that come, you're going to leave a new creation.
Let's go. I'm ready. I don't know about y'all. Like, I'm ready. I can feel it in my toes.
Yeah. Guys, you know what? And the other thing is, like, you know why we're so excited? Because us three, we've had our transformation, and that doesn't mean we're not gonna have more. I'm sure we're gonna. There's in life, you never stop evolving, transforming, and changing, and evolving, and transforming, and changing, and hopefully in a bigger and better way. And we're so excited because we want to be. We want, what's that word? We want to be witnesses to your transformation. We want to be part of your journey. We want, I mean, we just feel like, I told someone earlier today, I just feel so privileged when I see someone, let's say, rise from the ashes for real. Yeah. Like, the lower you are, the longer I see the stretch of how far it is, that gets me even more exciting. It's not fun to like help someone to go from here to here. I'm excited about helping you go from here all the way over here. And to be part of that, like, that is so exciting for me. That's why I talked about Ryan, because Ryan at the beginning, months ago, when we would be on our lives, it wasn't the same. Now he's like standing out, and like that's what we're so excited about. We did it for ourselves because each of us didn't go from here to here. Man, our stretch is so far. Our stretch. I mean, I'm a high school dropout who ended up with a master's degree, owning a community mental health agency and helping so many people in my community. Like I was never expected to do. That wasn't even a talk in my house to go to college or anything like that. It wasn't even a conversation. I just ended up choosing that path and doing a lot of things, but that wasn't even something that was part. I got kicked out of high school. You know, I got kicked out of high school.
Chicago.
Like, come on, like we've had our transformations. We want you to have yours.
Yeah. Okay, so now that you're talking about that, what, you know, before we go, we still got like 10 minutes. So now you're talking about the transformation. So what are you going to deliver to the people?
Why you put me on the spot like that?
Sarai.
Can you guys hear me?
You know what I think of when you do that?
Hear me. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is my part. What I'm gonna help you do is break through your limiting beliefs. And I'm holding this here because MJ said she couldn't hear me. The thing that stops us from moving forward. What are you laughing about?
You.
The thing that stops us from moving forward isn't even the vision, because we all have that. I think we all have the vision, and we all have the idea. The thing that stops us from moving forward is the minute we even start lifting our foot just to start moving forward, something goes, oh no, watch out, something's gonna happen. And then we start having all those things and justifications, and all these justifications that sound like logic and like they make sense. I don't want to curse, but they're like a bunch of BS. They're just little roadblocks, and guess what? You only get to live once. You only get one shot. So you get one shot at this thing we call life, one shot at success. So you got to go hard at it. Like, there is no time for the fear. There's no time to waste a year, 2 years, 10 years on doubt and fear and worry and all these things. You just got to go at it. And it took me so long to get to this point. Believe me, because I would be frozen. I'm the type that I freeze and pull back and disappear. Like I told you a little while ago, I'll disappear for 2 years and I won't do anything for 2 years. But ever since I started saying yes to myself, and ever since I started like going hard at it, if a thought comes in my mind, you know what happens? Next week, I'm already doing something about it. I'm already making plans and I'm doing something about it. Does that mean fear doesn't rise up? Of course, fear rises up. But then I put it aside, and I don't tell myself, well, what if this could go wrong or that could go wrong? I tell myself, well, what if it goes awesome? Like, what if I learn something from this? Even if it didn't go as planned, what if I learned something along the way? Or what if I meet someone? Like, I would have never met all you people. I would have never met all of you guys if I wouldn't have done Circle of Champions February of 2019. That was a big thing for me. And I ended up having to get depressed because I wasn't doing it. I had to feel the other side. The fear of doing it was one thing, but then the pain of not doing became bigger than my fear. And that pain of not doing it made me do it. And because of that, I've attracted so many amazing people into my life. Because of that, I'm doing lives. I never did lives before. I just started doing lives it's 1 year. Today we're in August. It's 1 year since I started doing lives. I met Carrie, I met Raymond, I met MJ, I met Laura. I mean, every single person here I've met because I said yes to myself. Imagine what would happen if you said yes to yourself now. And our class is pretty much like a giveaway. It's a giveaway because you're not just gonna get the 4 days with us. You're gonna get a bunch of other bonuses and classes. You're gonna end up with like the 4 classes plus like 6 more classes, which ends up being like 10 classes. You're gonna end up with like 10 classes. You're gonna end up with the live guided meditation by Carrie. You're gonna get another class called Creating the North Star workshop with Raymond. You're gonna we're doing a vision board party, all of us together. I'm gonna do the Uncover Your Dragon session, which has to do with fears again. And you're gonna get the private space, but you're gonna get more than what we did on the first time. Sorry guys, whoever was there the first time, there's gonna be more this time. And you're gonna get next week, you're gonna get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday masterclass where there's no way you're not gonna have a transformation. There's no way you're not gonna be able to there's no way you're not gonna be more clear and more able to do what you need to do. Like, there's just no way. So I'm like, obviously you can see how excited I am because I'm screaming already. As soon as I start screaming, screaming, you can tell I'm excited. But you guys gotta go, and it's only $97. Like $97 for all this stuff. It ends up being like $10 per class, I think. Like,
yeah, right.
It's like a giveaway at this point. Like, you got the 4, like, it's so much.
It really is when you think about it. It's like $10.
Really, yeah. So and Carrie, like, I know the first time she did it. You know what I mean? Just Carrie's got a really different way of speaking to people to really get people to be like.
Yeah.
Like I call it soul soothing. Like, you're soothing to the soul.
I like that. I accept that.
I'm telling you guys, when she talks, look, Carrie, tell them what you're going to talk about.
Listen, y'all. Because I'm gonna tell you why it's so soothing. When I speak, is because I come from a place of remembrance of what that felt like. And I know what it feels like when you are rooted in something that's not even yours. You have gotten lost in a field and you're standing around a whole bunch of pear trees and you want to produce apples type of situation. Like, I'm trying to get people to, like, when you go to the store, right? and you go get a little plant and it's in this little thing, it's protected, and that's exactly what it needs right then. But eventually those roots need room to grow. And you got to constantly have the mindset of replanting, rerooting, and taking care of where you are and finding out what you genuinely want to root yourself in. And take off the responsibility of pleasing people. Take off the responsibility of what you look like. Take off the responsibility if you fail. That does not matter. What matters is that you are sure about who you are, and you will never say no to you. You will constantly say yes to you all the time. And if it takes you uprooting from where you are to be planted somewhere else that's better serves you, then that is what you have to do. But you have to make sure that you are paying attention to your roots before they get too deep, because the deeper they go, the harder it is to get out of those situations. Notice I said hard, not impossible.
Amen.
But we have to think about our roots, because that's where our nourishment comes from. And if we're stuck down into a ground that is poisoned by others' opinions, by what other people think, other people's expectations, those roots will start to rot. So what I'm going to be talking about is, what are you rooted in? What do you want to be rooted in? Have you even paid attention? But we're going to pay attention. We're going to pay attention, and we're going to get to the bottom of that. Pun intended. We're going to get to the bottom of these roots. We're going to get to the bottom of that.
I love the fact you said, are you paying attention? Because that right there, you see so many times, even in my life, I was told at 21, when I was facing a lot of time and I had a lot of problems, is I was told, just go get a career in a trade, because that's all you'll be able to do.
Right.
That's what I was told.
Right. So someone took you and planted you where they wanted you to grow.
Absolutely.
No, ma'am.
And I spent there
into a network. No, ma'am. No, sir.
14 years. 14 years. And I'm like, is this all life has to offer? Because I knew that my foundation was built on sand and not on solid ground, right? So I love that. I love that you said. I love that you said that. I love that.
Yeah, and you're talking about like what people said about you and what they thought that you could do, and when you tied that in to what Sarai said earlier about, I'm not trying to get you from here to here, because that's what they were doing. They wanted you to have a very small way to go, because it's like, I don't know how far he's gonna make it, so let's just set him up right here. But we wanted to get you from here to here. And think about the aspect of that and what you've been through. When you take the fact that you started here and that you went here, think about a slingshot. If I had a slingshot and I did like this and I let it go, it's going to go through a But when life has pulled you back, when life has set you up, and you have all these things, and it pulls you and it lets you go, honey, you can go.
Look, I'm looking like this.
It will, right. Hey.
What's the thing in the Olympics when they do the jump, the skiers?
No. You soaring, baby. You soaring. There is nothing that can hold you back. The more bricks you got, the higher you can build. So don't let that be an excuse. You just need to start building your bricks. Lay them bricks down. Stand on them bricks. Let's go up. We gonna raise up this weekend. Listen, we got to raise up this weekend. Go. Oh, Sally, you got a hand up. Go ahead.
I have to raise my hand because they don't let me talk. So I have to raise it. But you made such a good point about being confused, because a lot of times we use, I'm confused, I'm overwhelmed, I'm so this and I'm so that. And you know what? Those are just excuses and justifications to not take action. So if you're confused, get yourself, not going to be really Cuban right now. Get yourself out of confusion. Get yourself out. Get out of confusion. Make a decision.
Right.
That's how you get yourself out of confusion. You make a decision. If it doesn't work, then you try the next.
Make another one. Yes.
How long are you gonna stay confused for? You know what?
The problem. You know what's crazy is what I struggle with now is looking at people and them not thinking, right? Them not thinking they can be better. And it's like, well, it's just this and it's just that and it's just this and it's just that. And I'm like, look, I'm as messed up as anybody of them, and I still believe that it's possible.
Right. And see, and they, just like she was saying, it's about not saying no to yourself.
Yeah.
Always say yes. Can you do it? Yes. Will I do it? Yes. Is it possible? Yes. Because it is. We can all win. We can all win. The problem is we ain't gonna all work. Are you gonna be the one that wins?
Come on, you better
be the one that works.
You better
because
say
they
that.
don't live in the same house. You can work and win, or you can just lay down and whine. Like, that's up to you. That's up to you. But if you want to get there, let's go.
Hey, but it's okay to whine while you're winning. Because sometimes you're going to have to cry. Look, sometimes you're going to have to get down on your knees and you just going to have to cry.
Right. And I'm going to go back to confusion. Confusion is just code for fear. Confusion is, I'm too afraid to make a decision. And you know what? Some people might be afraid to take our class. You know why? I'm going to tell you why. Because our class is going to...
Because I'm going to do this.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why it's scary. But you know what our class is going to do? Our class is going to make you face things. Our class is going to make you look at things. It's going to make you make decisions. It's going to make you do things that you have been putting in the back burner. And God knows I'm the most avoidant person on earth. So I know what that feels like. I will come up with a lot of excuses. And I'll say I'm overwhelmed. I'll get myself busy. I'll do a million things before doing what I got to do. So I understand that. But our class is going to help you like face those things that you really, really want. And honestly, I think, you know, we have such great jobs because our work and what we're doing is going to get people to not live with regret. Because God knows you don't want to go another 2 years confused, not taking action with your life, not doing what you're supposed to do and what you're meant to do, not discovering your true self. Like, who wants to go another 2 years or year like that? Like, God knows.
That makes me want to smack myself hearing that.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like, no, we wasting enough time.
I'm myself right now that I just last year, like
wasting time, cancel. Giving up, cancel.
Like, who
saying no,
wants to live like
cancel.
That? Yes, for real.
And the bottom line is this. In the end, when people are throwing dirt on your casket, right? And I literally want you to like think of it like this. In the end, when people are literally throwing dirt on your casket and they go back to the house and eat potato salad, right? And they're talking about the memories. What are they remembering of you? Are they remembering the fact that you broke that generational curse? Are they remembering the fact that you actually were able to create a legacy for your family? Are they remembering the fact that you took a stand for yourself when everybody else was opposed against you, and you took a stand to say, not today, not on my watch. I will change the trajectory of my history right here and right now. That's what I want. I don't want to be remembered because I had things. I want to be remembered because I left things. I want to be remembered for the things that I left behind. I want to be remembered for the lives that I touched, the relationships I built, those that they know I love them. I want that to go on for generations and generations. So,
indeed, amen to that. Amen to that. Leave a legacy. They may forget what you said, but they ain't gonna forget the way you make them feel. But because we want you to feel empowered. We want you to feel. We want you to know that you can do it because you can. Again, there's no difference between me and an astronaut except for the work he put in to be one.
Yep, I love that. I love that analogy.
And that goes the same for us and everyone listening. Yes. There's no difference between you guys and us except for we decided at some point to show up for ourselves and say yes to ourselves. And the quicker you start doing that, the quicker stuff starts manifesting in your life. So don't waste any more time. Start saying yes to yourself. Don't use confusion and fear as an excuse. Just use it, stick it in your pocket, and ride along. Let it ride along with you.
Yeah, right.
And as you ride along, guess what happens? You start getting confidence, and you start doing more and more, like Carrie was saying earlier. And I just noticed that the only one screaming has been me and Ray, and you're just like talking like this.
That's my girl, man. I'm telling you. Soothing to the soul.
Like, let me tell you what you need to do. And we're like screaming. Oh my gosh, she's so peaceful.
You are,
hey,
man.
Honestly,
I have my claps in there.
If I wasn't loud, people would think I was sick.
Yeah, but this is the thing though. That's what's so dynamic about us is
Yeah.
Y'all do y'all. I do me. And there's no competition and comparison because we know we all offer something so uniquely. But let me tell you something to the people watching. Y'all get all of this.
Hey,
all combined and intertwined.
I love it. But it goes to and I want the last thing I'm going to share before we wrap this up is I want you guys to understand, like, you think that there's a connection now. Wait till we actually get live and get to build our relationship in a physical form as well as a spiritual and mental form, because we haven't even met each other yet. Like that tells you how wonderful it is when you say yes to yourself.
Yeah.
Because then things start to happen that you never imagined happen. Because this time last year, I can tell you this right now, there was no thought in my mind that we'd be on this platform right now. Right?
Right. Yeah, like years ago, if someone would have said, okay, I need you to do X, Y, Z, I would have been like, how? But the how isn't saying yes. You say yes, and God provides the how. Yeah. Like He's the one that put this thing together, not us. Absolutely. It just organically happened. No one sought anybody out. No one was. It just happened.
That became evident last night.
Right.
I almost had, I had a convulsion last night. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. It's that good. It's that good because, and that's that feeling. That's that feeling that we want to get you to. That feeling when it just clicks and you realize, because I said yes to that, I got this. And to God be the glory because I was obedient.
Amen.
I was obedient in saying yes to myself. And then things start to manifest.
Well, guys,
Amen.
And Angel saying it blows my mind that you all really only meeting digital.
I know. It blows my mind too.
Well, it must be blowing your mind because that's not even true. Because I drove all the way to Carrie's house.
Yeah, you did. You did.
We're talking about long after the fact. I mean, come on, stop. Why you always gotta be so professory?
Well, just be quiet. Be quiet. I met Carrie in person. I met Lori and Carrie in person. I went.
Yeah, and the baby. She met the grandbaby too.
I'm gonna meet her soon. Hey, I told Raymel. I told Raymel the other day. Holy, could you imagine when we all get together?
No, it's gonna be. I cannot wait.
They gonna kick us out.
Now, look, they can't kick us out of somewhere we own.
I gotta
there we go. There we go. Stop raising your hand.
Guys, I have a question for everybody out there. When we do our live event next year, what city do you think it should be in? What city should it be in? Just throw some words.
Hagerstown, Maryland.
Should it be in Miami, Florida, where the beaches are, or?
Nobody wants to be in Miami.
Let's go to Hagerstown, where there's like corn crops like that.
We can go corn picking.
Yeah, what city? We need to. You know what we need to do? Inside your good side and inside usual suspects, we need to create a poll.
What?
A poll.
I'm like, wait, what?
We gotta figure this thing
out. Not that kind of poll, Sarai.
Ron said 305. Rhonda said Northern Virginia.
Hey, Rhonda's over by me. Rhonda, I'm in Maryland. What part of Northern Virginia? I got to get ready to bounce off this thing.
Yeah, you got to go.
What time is it?
7:57.
Yeah. Miami, Florida.
So Sarai said something earlier. You remember what she said? She was like, you just got to go hard. So with that note, I want to thank all of y'all for tuning in. Michelle, keep tuning in to us. Keep doing your thing. You got my prayers. Listen, everybody already knows you can reach out to me anytime. And I'll get back to you. But just be ready because God is doing some things.
I forgot to mention that if you guys come to our masterclass next week, you also get free tickets to our Rise Up event.
Come on.
I really forgot that. I had to raise my hand.
They weren't ready for that. They weren't ready for that one. Y'all can meet us in. Can you meet? I tell you what, we got. This gonna be good. This gonna be big. This gonna be good.
We got a whole bunch of Florida.
I think it's looking like it's probably gonna be in Florida. That's what I'm thinking.
And I got a badass place to do it at.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be in Florida. Yeah, let's go. Y'all go on and play in that. Y'all just we gonna come up with some dates soon, and we gonna put it in there. All right, Raymond gotta hop up.
I got a song for Sarai.
All right.
Go hard.
Yeah, come on. Listen to the words. Lord, use me, yo. Lord, use me, though. Lord, kill me. I'm crazy. Still in my 20s. Are y'all ready to chase after your dreams with everything you got? Even if it costs you your life, that's what I'm ready to do.
Hey, none of us, ain't nobody getting out of this one alive, right?
I'm telling you.
Get the word. We gotta get the word.
I love you guys. I got class in like 32 seconds.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you guys.